We have, there we go. We have Lerato from the Rustenburg, Hi, Lerato. Ritidze. Ritidze. Did I say that correctly? Ritidze from Tembisa. Welcome, Penelope. Hi, Penelope from Joburg. Thank you so much for joining us. And again, for those who just joined, we are going to start our session at 11:05, just to give everyone enough time to join. But while we wait, we are introducing ourselves in the chats and where we're dialing in from. Okay, I'm still here. We have Christian. Christian from Pretoria. Hi, Christian. Hopefully, I said that correctly. Valerie from Joburg too. Hello, Valerie. Katlaho from Pretoria as well as Deboho from Pretoria. Hello, everyone. Hi. Diego from Cape Town. Another one from Cape Town. Joy from Durban. Cool. I love the diversity. I love the diversity. Welcome to each and every one of you guys. Kuliso from Jelele, Limpopo. Oh, okay. Hi, Kuliso. Thank you so much for joining. Lefa from Pretoria. Welcome. Garabo from Krugersdorp. Matlasi from Joburg. Awesome. Welcome to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining. Um, then we have Major from Limpopo, Krugersdale. There's so many places out there that I don't know. Thank you so much, Major, for joining us. Just 2 more minutes to go before we start our sessions. Um, feel free to introduce yourself in the chats. We have Cole. Cole, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Cole from Joburg. Has the meeting started yet? I don't hear any sounds. Yes, it has. Yeah, well, now let me just comment on this quickly. Hi, everyone. I am Silo from Tembisa. Welcome. Cool. And then we have Gift from Bumalanga, my hometown. Welcome. Emmanuel from Pretoria. Alimon from Midrand. Idumulang from Orange Farm. Meles from Santon. Melissa from Randburg. And Kabelo from Kimberley. Thank you all for joining us. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Kia from Pretoria. Welcome, Kia. Um, thank you. I thank you all for joining us today. Cool. We'll just have 1 more minute for everyone to join us and then we begin. You guys can still see my screen, right? Zelda from Joburg and Katlacho from Pretoria. Welcome to both you, Zelda and Katlacho. Thank you for joining us. All right. I think we can start. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our session. Right. Um, my name is Kuku Mukwena. I am a former student at Rethink Code, right? And welcome to our pre-application workshop, right? So initially, this whole workshop is here to help you um, be on the front line when it comes to doing applications, right? So we're gonna give you all the information that you will need to get yourself started in terms of how to apply, what is needed, and just how within code generally works and what exactly is within code, right? And then we'll just give you a few resources for you to get yourself ready and prepped before your boot camp, as well as getting yourself ready and prepped after your boot camp as well, right? So that's what this session is all about, getting you ready to apply to Within Code, and so that you don't get here clueless. Um, and yeah, so that you know exactly what's happening. Okay, cool. So whatever we're gonna present to you guys, please, follow along. If we tell you there's this link, you need to do this. Make sure that you do. It's gonna help you a lot. This is something that former students we put together for you guys to actually say this is something we went through, and we want to make the process a bit easier for you guys, right? Coming into Within Code. Cool. Cool. So we'll start our session. Welcome to our pre-application. So before we even start, there's a specific link that we're gonna send to you guys. So we just want to know who was present in this session. So in the chat, there's a link that says mark this as complete, right? So essentially what's gonna happen is you're gonna click on the link. If you do have a profile, yeah, for you, it'll take you, just log in, it'll take you straight to a page, right? I hope I had an example, but sorry, I don't. But in our walkthrough, we're gonna have a walkthrough which will show you how to exactly do what I'm actually telling you to do. But essentially, you can click on that. If you don't have a profile yet, feel free to create a profile on IBM Skills Build, because that's where most of those resources are, right? That you have to go through in terms of your pre-application, as well as some of the information that you might require for your bootcamp, right? So when you enter there, there's going to be a button on your right, which is written mark as complete. And essentially what you can do is just click on that button, and you can just write how long the session is, which is like 1 hour, just to actually say that you did attend the session. And the nice thing is that you can actually get a certificate, and you can post it on your LinkedIn or your social media and tag us at Within Code to actually say that you have actually attended our application process workshop. Cool. So, while you guys visit that, we'll start. So, essentially, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just introduce what Within Code is all about. So, Within Code is a software engineering um what can I say, school, right? Where we are, the purpose of us is to try and shift South Africa from, not even South Africa as such, but Africa, from consumption to the creation of tech. So we want to shift you from scrolling through your TikTok to actually creating your own app, such as TikTok, right? So it is a training academy where we actually train people to become people in the tech space. So we do this by focusing on three operational skills. So which is inclusive recruitment. So when we mean inclusive, we mean we take anyone and everyone, right? Through obviously making it through your bootcamp and everything like that. Rigorous training, which means that you're gonna be coding almost all the time, right? You're gonna think code, you're gonna eat code, you're gonna sleep code. um, but this is our rigorous training because it is a work simulated environment, meaning that it's not like you're coming to school every day, but it's like going to work every day, right? So essentially, that's how it is. There's no lecturers that are going to be standing in front of you trying to explain 1 2 3. No, you're going to be learning from your peers and people around you, right? Which is a peer-to-peer environment, right? So if one person knows the answer, then the whole cohort at that point was the answer. Cool. And then after that, there's potentially job placement. If you would do good, and you actually stand out from the crowd during the process, then more chances of you getting placed. Cool. So we have something called inclusive recruitment. I'm just going to be going into detail with everything that I've mentioned. So inclusive recruitment process means that our young people with no prior coding experience, right? So you really don't need to know how to code to make it into within code, right? Can access the academy. So anyone, whether you have coding experience, whether you don't have coding experience as well, you don't need to have a matric certificate to graduate from Within Code, and you don't have to pay anything actually, like mahala. um, so that's the nice great when we mean inclusive recruitment. So whatever your background is, wherever you come from, um, you will be able to make it into within code, right? But what we actually expect from you is full-time participation and engagement, right? So when I say thumbs up, I want to see thumbs up, right? When you're asked to do certain things, like the links that we're going to be sending to you, and say do this, do that, we actually want you to do that, because no one is going to actually be following you around asking you, why didn't you do this, why are you not doing that, right? So we need that full-time participation and engagement from each and everyone that makes it into within code. Daily attendance on campus. So with the daily attendance on campus, you're going to be on campus every Monday to Friday, 8 hours a day, which is 40 hours a week, just like going to work, right? That is what's going to be required from you. Hence, that's why we advise that hope when you make it to Within Code, you shouldn't be doing any other thing, because Within Code really requires a lot from you. So if you're gonna be working, you can't be working on the side while you attend Within Code. You can't be doing university while we're at Within Code, because balancing that is gonna be a problem, because we want you full time. Right, we need you full time actually. And then dedication and drive to fulfill all academic requirements to access internship possibilities. So now this is just saying that um, we need you to be someone who is able to be motivated, be kept motivated throughout, someone who is able to always be top notch in everything that they do, because you're going to be getting a lot of projects and a lot of due dates, right? So you need to be someone who's always dedicated, and just be there to every requirement and every due date, that you're able to submit all the things that are required from you, and that you actually honor the due dates that have been given to you, right? And then ownership of your learning journey and process. Yes, as I said, no one is going to be running after you, saying do this, do that. So you have full responsibility and ownership of your journey at Within Code, meaning that you need to be the one who actually takes steps to actually say, oh my god, I don't understand this, and go out and seek for help from uh, your peers, your mentors, people around you, generally, right? um don't worry, you can pop in any questions that you have in the chat. We will have a Q&A session later on, after everything has been highlighted. And then if you still have any more burning questions, you can then ask them then. But we do have a team that will help you with any of the questions that you may have in the chats. Cool. Ma'am, can you guys still see my screen? Oh, okay. I don't know what happened
We
there.
did, but then it disappeared.
It just went black for 2 seconds. Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Nicola. So, our values and what we look for, right? So, we look for grit. We want people who will keep going, right? We think code tends to get hard. Um, it just keeps leveling up, because whatever you're gonna be learning, you need to take it to the next level and so on. And you need to be, as I said, keep yourself motivated throughout the course. Um, Even though it's hard, you just need to have grit, so that you can see the light at the end of the tunnel and make it throughout the whole course. And we want people who are curious. We want people who ask why. We want people who try out things, break them, solve them again. We want people who are just curious to know more, right? Um, for example, a follow. What is a follow? How did it even start? Who even thought about this thing, right? How does it even work in life generally? So that's the kind of mindset that we want you going into within code, the curious part, right? And then we want someone who has Ubuntu, right? I am because we are. So with Ubuntu, that's because as you said, you're going to be working with a lot of people that are around you, which are your peers, right? So you need to be able to speak to people. People need to be able to speak to you. You need to treat them with respect. They need to treat you with respect. A person who doesn't look down on anyone, regardless of how far they are in their projects or anything like that. If I come to you and I say, I need your help, you need to be able to be calm enough to offer me that help, right? Because we're here to help each other. You know, you might know A and might know B, and together we might form something together, and a solution to whatever might be required at that time. And some of the questions that you're asking, the answers will actually be said throughout the presentation. So be on the lookout for those. And then responsibility, right? So it is up to you to say you don't understand something. It is up to you to actually say, I need help with this, or I'm falling behind on that, or this is what's not happening. This is what's happening. I'm feeling too much pressure. It's up on you. No one is gonna um magically know what's happening, right? So you need to have the responsibility to speak up when needed, to ask for help and seek for help when needed to. Okay, cool. And then I'm just gonna hand it over to Zube, who's gonna just highlight what IBM is skills is all about and why it's important in your journey into making it into within code. Heidi, you can take it away.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So I'm just gonna share my screen so that everybody can see what I'm talking about.
The
Um,
bear, I did share the link in the chat for the application, pre-application.
yeah. So I'm gonna start off with the pre-application, the workshop for you to mark is complete so that we can keep a track of who all joined us, and then we can also use this information to basically give you more communication on what is happening later on in the year as well. So can somebody just confirm that I can see the screen?
Yes,
Yes.
I can see your screen. Yes.
Okay. So in the chats, you should be able to see a link, right? So this link will take you to a pre-application 2025 workshop, right? So this is the workshop that you're doing right now, and on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see a mark is complete. Once you do this mark is complete, we will be able to see who did it, right? For those of you that is not yet on IBM Skills Build, I'm just going to log out and show you the easiest way to sign up. So to sign up onto IBM Skills Build, right? It's very simple. So you'll just go to sign up at the bottom, right? And then you can either sign up with Google or you can sign up with your email. So the easiest way to do it is to sign up with Google, and they should ask you like a couple of questions. So your name, your surname, where you're from, and then your age, and a couple of other things as well. So that information is just to see who you are, where you're from. So depending on where you're from, you'll get certain access to certain learning plans and learning activities, right? Um, I want to show you again. Um, so to find the application that um, you can actually go through, right? So there's a learning plan on IBM Skills Book for you to find this plan. You can't search for it, so you'll have to go to the Within Code website. So you can just search Within Code, and then the first one that pops up, it should have the icon, right? If you go into this one and at the top you'll see there's a home, about, partner, enroll, news, and contact, right? So if you go to enroll and then apply now, you should end up on the screen over here. So there is a IBM Skills Build link, and then there's also apply here now. So for those of you that do want to apply to Within Code, the applications should open up soon. You'll just have to keep an eye out on all of our social media to see when that is going to open up. But for those of you that want to get started already and just have a quick um, look at what you'll be going through, you can go to the IBM Skills Build thing and then you can click on sign up now. And if you already signed up, it should take you straight to this learning plan over here, right? So this learning plan has it's basically there's an introduction to IBM Skills Build. So what is IBM Skills Build and what you can do on this website, and then there's also some problem solving things that you can do. So the test that you're going to do, the online assessment for Within Code, there's no coding involved, right? So it's all problem solving, and this is just to test how good you are at problem solving, right? Trying to figure out patterns and looking at things in many different ways. So there is a quiz that you can do also at the end, right? So this quiz on the IBM Skills Build site, we've created this for those of you that want to just get a few practice tests in before you do the actual assessment through Within Code, right? So unlike the one from Within Code, this one you can take as many times as you want. You'll be able to see your progress over here, right? So um,
To be a different screen.
over here you'll see like the first time you maybe did it, you got like 60%, and then you maybe get
Zubair,
80,
change
90,
your
and you can do
screen.
this. Sorry, guys. Where did it stop? Was it on the screen?
Yes,
I
start
think
over
so.
from the screen.
Sorry,
Okay.
guys, we are still we're students. Technical skills are not a strong suit. Coding is.
Okay. So from the start. Sorry about that. So the first thing on the Within Code pre-application site, right, is the introduction to IBM Skills Build. So what you can do, we'll be able to find all the information. Then there's problem solving skills that you can go through, right? And then also the critical thinking. And then the quiz is at the bottom. So if you go into the quiz, um, yeah, so over here, this is where you'll be able to see all your progress. So this test over here, right, you can go to take quiz again, or the first time you do it, it will just say take quiz. Um, so you will have to finish this within 24 hours, right? So should normally take you about an hour, like to do this quiz. But if you don't understand something, you can always come out of the quiz and then go and check the answer somewhere else and then come back and fill it in, right? So you don't need to do the entire thing in one go. You need to get higher than 80% to pass this quiz. So for the Within Code assessment, I think it's a little bit lower, but you should always try to aim as high as you can, right? So this quiz you can take as many times as you want. Um, this page over here, right on the Within Code site, when you click on apply here now, right, um, it should tell you everything that you need, right? So this you'll only do once you've actually completed this practice test over here a few times, right? And you at least get up to about 90 or 100%. So like I said, this thing you can do as many times as you want. So try to do this as much times as you can to basically get an understanding of what there is um, like required of you. So if you go into this over here, it should show you exactly what is the course about. And then also, if you go to the top over here, right, once you are in IBM Skills Build, if you go to the search button and you search WTC, right, you'll see there's a channel. And if you click on it, you'll see that there's a lot of different things that is available, right? So for those of you that already have some coding experience and you just want to maybe go through some extra things, you can find it over here. And then there is the We Think Code Bootcamp preparation. So for those of you that already know coding, right, and you just want to do like some extra work, like after you've done your bootcamp and you're just waiting, right, to start the course, you can come to the bootcamp preparation. But we'll have another workshop on that at a later date. Um, is there anything that I'm missing? Google Nicola, is there anything I'm missing?
No, not anything I can think of from the top of my head. Anything from your side, Nicola?
No, I'm good for now.
Okay.
Did
So
you
I think
do
I'll hand over
registration with
to
them? How to register?
which registration.
The registration of IBM Skills Build when they first log in.
Oh, it's not going to allow me to do that. I already have a profile on there. So just to let you know, when you do sign up to IBM Skills Build, right, there's a form that you'll have to fill out, and there's about 2 or 3 pages. So it will ask you for your name, your surname, your age, and then it will also ask you for which language you want, right? After that, it should log you straight into the IBM Skills Build website. If you have like any questions, if you're getting stuck somewhere, you can always just put it into the chat and then I'll try and guide you further from there. Nicola, I think you're up.
Yeah. Google, can you please share the slides?
Yes, that's a big. Can you please start sharing?
Hi
Can you see my
guys.
screen?
Not yet. I'm Nicola. I am a past student of We Think Code, and I'm going to take you through the 16th month course. So with pre-application, we do want you to just learn the basics. You're not going to learn coding. It's just once you get into the application process, etc., I'm going to explain. So here we have the applications in the beginning of the year. It runs until August. Then for the 16th month, you aren't allowed to work. It is a full-time training on campus. You have to be at campus, as Google went through. It's from September to December 2026. Can you even believe that? And then for 4 months, you'll have to intern to qualify for graduation. Now, if you get to the next slide, I think I can explain more in depth. Google. So once you do get into We Think Code, you are very lucky to do the NQ F6. When we started, we could only get the 5. And here you learn about the fundamentals, and which is Python. And then the next one is Java. And your second year is all about group work. So here we are going to go through how to work in a team. It's not just all about coding. It's about how to interact with people and just how you are in a workplace. It's a very strange way of thinking. Like in school, you just want to be in your own little bubble, but here you have to go out and about. I am 32 years old, and when I first started in We Think Code, I didn't know anything about coding. And then a 20-year-old taught me how to code. So it is very amazing how you just like open up and go, okay, just also learning activity all together every single day of your life. So first year is quite fun. It's like less work. You're going to learn about everything. Second year, trust me, I think we all really band together because at our graduation this last year, we were like, wow, what did we go through? So this is why we're here to talk to you guys, as it's really hard to think that We Think Code is free and it's a full education, especially in South Africa. It's quite strange. It sounds like a scam. I thought it was a scam. So this is why we're here to answer all your questions. And this is how the process, application process will work. This is, next slide. Okay, so the first part of the application is, so you're gonna do the pre-application, the next 2 months, just learn basic problem solving. And why we say problem solving is it isn't coding questions in the application form. It's how you are as a person, how you can look at a problem and take a step back and go, wow, this is X, Y, and Z. You'll see in the questions in the pre-application, don't think too hard on it. Your mind will make it up. as you go. Your brain's smart enough to see the puzzle if you just take a step away and go, okay, big question. With coding, it's like that. So for the online assessment, always make sure you have an internet, quiet place, and notebook. Guys, I know digital days, but it's always good to just like jot things down as you're going along. It's not cheating. You write quick, like when you're learning how to code, it's not cheating to have a notebook or to have notes and etc. because it's just your thoughts that you're writing down. So I would say that for application, quiet place, it's 1 hour. If you take that time, take it. I remember rushing through it and going, oh my word, I don't know if I got everything right. And then next one is the boot camp. It's the next step. So don't even stress about with the boot camp. With the boot camp is you have 6 days that you'll have to go to a campus, either Johannesburg or Cape Town. The TVETs are different parts of We Think Code. We can get answers, but only next month for that. So with boot camp is you have 6 days there, and it is literally your first year of We Think Code is put into 6 days. You are there to just go through the basics of coding, and they just want to see how far you can get. It is not I'm going to finish everything. It's let's see how far you can get. Let's see if you can seek help. I remember the second day of boot camp, I went home crying because I was like, I don't get this. And I stayed there for all 6 days, and they're literally there to see how strong you are. Because in We Think Code, we are there to just, it's all on you and the people around you and your connections you make. So it's pretty incredible. If this is all making sense to you, this is why we're saying it is not a scam. It is pretty incredible what We Think Code does for us. And with this is after the application, you'll get a congratulations message saying, hey, book your bootcamp, and they'll give you dates. Also, bootcamp dates are put up on our social media, plus the application form, is also on our social media. So also look out for those dates. I forgot to say that. And then on to the next part is when you're put on a waiting list, or when you get a congratulations, you succeeded the bootcamp, you'll have to do a 30-minute, go. You'll have to do
So sorry.
next slide. So after boot camp, you are you have to do a 30-minute video for We Think Code. It is a pretty awkward video because it isn't with someone. You have to record yourself. And they just see your mannerisms, and if you can explain code, which is also something they don't teach you in boot camp. You kind of have to go, hey, they ask you a random question, you're like, oh yeah, I liked functions, and you have to explain it. So yeah, guys, just go for it. It is pretty much a journey, and you make such incredible friends along the way. And Google will take you on to the enrollment, and all your burning questions I can see popping up. Thank you so much.
At this point, I don't even want to end the presentation because these questions.
I
Oh my
know, all I'm
gosh.
seeing is it rolling through.
We were just students, guys. We just, anywho. So I'm just gonna take you through the enrollment. So once you've made it through going through applications and going through your boot camp, and they say yes, you've made it, then there's something called enrollment, where you actually then have to enroll, right? Oh, and one thing, can I just go back a slide, right? Because there was a question on this. Somebody asked about stipends. So with stipends,
It's actually on the enrollment. It was your one.
is it? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
at the
cool.
bottom.
So let me just go through enrollment. So one, we have registration, right? So when you come for registration, we want your ID, your personal documents, which will vary when you get into We Think Code. They will ask you which personal documents that they want. They might be different from each other. You'll see when you get there. And then criminal background check, right? To check if there's no pending cases that you might be going through. And if you do, make sure you have detailed things that you can give the people that will be doing the registration, as well as them sending you the contract and submission of everything, right? And then Then the induction now will now happen, right? Induction, then this is all happening in September, right? So induction is you get introduced to the We Think Code team, you get introduced to the people around you, you get to see your peers, people you did boot camp with, and then they'll highlight the curriculum in detail by the performance team. They'll tell you what you're going to be doing for the next 6 months, how campus works and operates, what is required from you in terms of campus. So these are just the different departments that are at Within Code, as well as understanding the code of conduct and your contract obligation. So what you signed. So read your contract, please, so that you know what you're signing for, so that you don't have complications on a later stage. Um, and then your onboarding, then they onboard you to the system that we use, which is called the LMS system, learning management system of Within Code, where you how to submit your projects and all of those other things. Platform onboarding, your GitLabs, your curriculum, where you the site where you can get your curriculum, and then the stipend applications are open, right? So with the stipends, right, there is not a fixed amount that you will get. Right. When I said read your contracts, is because you will be legally binded to keep that information to yourself, right? So with stipend, it is all dependent on your need and subject on what is available, right? We do not come from the same backgrounds, so our needs are not the same. You know what I mean? So other people, actually, you'll get a stipend that is true to you based on your needs and requirements and the documents that will be required from you in that time. And that is how your stipend will be calculated and given to you. Hope we understand. We cannot tell you how much we were getting. We're not allowed to do that, right? And we cannot tell you how much you're gonna be getting because, as I said, there's not a fixed amount that somebody can get. We cannot give you the range as well, as we do not know what other people were getting. I hope we get that clear. But the stipend is there. That's all we can actually give you in terms of the stipend. Cool. And then the time has come, right? We are excited to have you guys, and hopefully, we answered most of the questions that you guys may have. If not, this is now your time to actually pop your questions in the chats. Um, we'll try to answer almost all of the questions that you guys may have, as well as you can put a hand up and we will ask you to unmute and ask your questions. I can see questions flooding, the numbers just going. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. So, okay, so I'll just start with Jean Michael. You can unmute and ask your question.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
No, thank you. So I just want to find out, so the first step is to complete the form on IBM Skills Build, right? That's the first step.
Not so. The first step is to do the pre-application on IBM Skills Board. Yes. So to do that learning plan to prepare yourself for when applications do open.
And then the second step would be to then go onto the Rethink Code website and then
Yes. So the second step would then be when the dates are now open for you guys to then register. So the whole time you're going to be busy preparing yourself for the application, right? Using the pre-application, because you can do that how many ever times you want. Then when the dates now do open, then you can go through the application process and register and apply at Within Code, right? And then from there, you then go do the pre-bootcamp application. So that one now, when you have now been accepted, so after writing your assessment, you then get accepted. Once you're accepted, you can do the pre-bootcamp. That will help you prepare yourself for the bootcamp that will be now coming. Then from there, you attend the bootcamp. When you make it through bootcamp, then you register for Within Code, and then you're a student. Other steps highlighted proper.
so how will we know? So how will we know when the application is open? Will we get like
Social
an
media.
email?
Social media. Social media. So our social media platforms is the safest one to actually, because our data and most of our announcements are done there. Any social media platform, just search for We Think Code. You'll find it Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, we there. And then the dates will be posted on there as to the applications are now open. Cool. Cool. Next question. Aliman, you can ask your question.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Just a quick
Good
one from
morning.
me. Good morning. Yes, thank you. So there's no way that one can complete this training online, like self-paced material. So one have to be in campus like every day.
Yes, we do not do online. So everything is on campus. Your designated desktop and everything is on campus.
All right. I just want the clarification on that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm just gonna move to the chats quickly. You can lower your hand. I'm just gonna move to the chats for those that have not been answered. I'm just gonna start from the bootcamp. So the bootcamp is in person, yes. So bootcamp is in person. You're gonna be required to be on campus to do your bootcamp, right? Depending on whichever campus that you applied for, right? Uh, I saw. Can't you guys email us? uh, Luckily, somebody answered that. Will you guys update us on the application, on when the dates of the application? Zube Nicola,
Yes.
are we gonna be sending out? I'm gonna be sending out emails to say, hey,
I think it's
dates
to
are
everyone that's
open.
registered for these workshops on the Google Forms, since we have your information, we can
Mhm.
email you and we will email you then. As soon as applications open, also we'll see when you guys have completed the pre-application work and that. That's how also we can get your email addresses. So be on the lookout. We don't know the dates of yet, as we are past students, we're not in the higher ups yet. So they normally open in March. But we'll be doing these pre-application workshops to just get everyone on board because, as I say, when I first saw We Think Code, I thought it was a scam too. Free education, and you get a stipend, and you get etc. So it's pretty incredible.
Okay, and then Zube, how can we get the recording for this session?
So we are having a bit of trouble uploading the stuff to YouTube right now. Once we get that sorted, then we should have this recording uploaded to YouTube, and then you'll be able to access it through the pre-application workshop that I just showed you for the Mark is Complete.
Cool. And then I'm going to move to hands. So nobody has their hand up, right? I can just continue with the
Yeah,
questions on
continue
the
with the
chats.
chat. Good luck.
Okay. Girl. Where's the Jova campus? The Jova campus is in Rosebank. Rosebank via Jan Smarts, 132 Jan Smarts. Yeah, that is where the Joburg campus is. How many campuses are in Joburg? We have one in Rosebank, and we have a TVET college in Parktown, which necessarily, if you're not doing bootcamp right now, then I most probably won't be going to that campus. But those are the two campuses we have in Joburg. Okay, cool. Oh, so many questions. What are the things you look for in the boot camps besides passive the test and assigns in detail? Nicola, besides Ubuntu, curiosity, and all of those things, what else do you guys look for in the boot camp?
I think it's just, I remember when we looked after our boot campers. When you guys come in, you meet us for the first time, the second years. Well, I'm now graduated. But it's just how you interact. It is that, and it's how you do your work. Don't ever, if you know what's going on around you, and you're finishing all your work, but you're not helping your neighbor, That's what we're looking at. You've got eyes on you as soon as you walk in there, because we do want a collaborating cohort. Because we've had cohorts where no one wanted to help each other, and it's just boring. You don't have the happy laughter night. You don't have the fun games days that we had in our cohort. So yeah, just know also coding, just know some Python. Once you do the pre-application, you're welcome to go to the We Think Code channel, where there's something called Programming for Beginners. I would go there with a little bit of knowledge of Python, because they do sometimes throw projects at you, because things change all the time. As I say, I remember crying when I first saw my project and I was like, I can't read code for anything. But they're like, that's not the point. The point is they want to see you, how you actually going to take so much work all at once. It's peer pressure. They kind of put you in peer pressure of like reading through code for the first time. But now that I think about it, it's a pretty cool experience. But yes, Python, guys, that's what you should learn after doing pre-application and you get booked in for boot camps. Python and how to talk to others.
And then from my end, I just want to say it's just progress, you know. Like you need to show that there's something that you're learning throughout, because everything will happen in such a short period of time that 6 days will feel like forever. So just make sure that you do show progress in everything that was highlighted. Just add that on the list. So within the 6 days of bootcamp, everyone is responsible for their own transport, right? Yes. The only time that you'll ever start getting money from Within Code is when you're actually a student and you've applied for stipends. Other than that, no. Hi, is there like a consideration for students who have attended the last, say, 2 or 3 boot camps and not making it to the next round? I mean, like, are they going to get a tougher assessment scale as compared to first timers? No. So everything is still, the process will be the same. So it resets. Get this, right? So you can only apply once a year, right? And every January they reset, right? And you can then apply again. Then the process will be the same. There's no, this one has attended like 3 times, so let's, no, no, no. Like everyone will be going through the same thing. Cool. So no Pretoria at all. No, sadly not. We do not have a campus in Pretoria yet. What are the things you look for in the boot camp? I think we answered this. What is the duration of the software dev course? I think this was answered, 16 months. Is Python the only language that is taught? No, you will learn Java. You will learn a lot more, because there's cloud, there's all of these, there's blockchain, there's
There's web
remind me,
dev,
there's
there's the
web
HTML,
development,
JavaScript, the SQL. You learn all
there's
the basic things
QA.
you need. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot more other languages. I think Python and Java is just the major ones, because that's the first two that you'll get introduced to, and then everything else will come about. And
Learn about
then,
APIs, guys. Don't stress. Everything gets taught to you. But what I'm saying is, during boot camp, just know Python.
what software will we be using for coding in Python? We use VS Code almost for everything, but you can use PyCharm. It's the IDE is really up to you. Like, what are you comfortable with? You're not really that hectic on that. Yeah. So those type of project of boot camps, where can we get similar for us for us slow learners to? You will face it the day you come to boot camp. There's nowhere else where you'll actually. What the software that you use during boot camp is in house. It was created in Within Code, so it doesn't exist anywhere else. So there's nowhere else where we can redirect you to actually go, unless you stick with the IBM thing. I think you'll be fine. You'll be very fine. Um, does Within Code offer accommodation? No, we do not. Um, can you please show the roadmap screen again? I want to screenshots. Okay. Okay. Guys, can you take any other questions? And there's so many. I'm losing my step every time I'm scrolling.
Okay, cool. So the one question is, should we learn Python before we do the online assessment or before we do boot camp? So during the online assessment, you'll see in the pre-application, it's not any code. You don't need code to do the online assessment. But before boot camp, I would just do like the basic Python course. Just watch a video about it because you're gonna watch a lot of videos during boot camp about it. You do Python in boot camp, and I will just say a little something here is it's all about games. You make like game in We Think Code, we make games, and that's how we learn code. So if you want to just go to watch a video of how to make a game in Python, that's pretty much all you need to know. I can't say anything more. And as Google said, application complete for the pre-application meeting doesn't weigh in. It just means that we'll know your email address and we can keep you informed with everything. The online assessment is all on you. The stipend, Google said it best, is that once you're in We Think Code and you sign your contract, you send in documents and then We Think Code will assess to how much stipend you get, etc. It's all on different people. It's a unique thing. What type of games? I can't tell you that. It's a surprise when you're in boot camp. Just look up how to make basic games in Python, guys. I'm saying too much.
let me help out. Let me help out. I'm not a very technical person, so I think coding won't be my strongest strength. So what career opportunities will I be presented once I get into within code? So actually, as much as coding is not your strongest, right, there's a lot of things or careers that might come out in the tech space, right? There's UI UX, there's a lot. You'll be surprised. There's project management, there's and throughout your journey at Within Code, you will touch on each of these what's this each of these careers, right? So once you're in it, you get exposed to more other things. So just focus on getting in. I think that is the best thing I can actually say. And then from there, you'll be exposed to everything else. Cool. Does the program have an age restriction? 35. 35 is the age restriction, right? That's the youth of South Africa from 17 to 35. There's accommodation for those who don't reside in Joburg for 6 days. Sadly not. There's no accommodation, Mohao. You'll need to make plans for the 6 days. Okay, and then that point of that. Okay. Yes, we have data science as well. Yes, we do. Within Code does offer data science, but that is like towards the end of your second
That's
year
your
when
second
you
year,
do your
guys.
when you're specializing in different careers. We do have data science. We have QA. We have blockchain. We have there's a whole lot. There's a lot. I can't even keep track. And then the companies that sponsor Within Code, do they have their own requirements for placements? If yes, what type of requirements they want? There's a lot of companies that sponsor Within Code, and each of them have their own requirements. And imagine if you were to go through each requirement for each company, we won't finish. But once you make it in, you will have meetings with placements where they go into details and depth with all of these other things, right? Yeah. Yes, Nicola.
Yes, so the only requirements for companies that sponsor We Think Code is that you finish We Think Code. We have discovered this. But placements have said that they know what We Think Code learners know. So you can go in there and be like, hey, and they actually teach us more on their companies. So we know the basics from We Think Code, and then they'll be like, oh, you don't know this framework, let us train you. So our companies that sponsor us actually give us training in that internship period.
Yes. Yes, that's true, Nicola. They'll never ask for anything that you didn't do at Within Code. We have 5 minutes to go. Does Within Code offer SAP? Sadly not. We do not do anything related to SAP. Cool. There's a hand up. Oh, okay. Yes, Mtandazo, you can ask your question.
Hi, I'm the one who sent a question
Hello.
about about whether the people that have attended before, do they get like a different criteria, like the assessment kind of thing? So I don't think my question was answered that well.
I
I want to
don't.
like, can I please rephrase it or something like that? Maybe if I can explain it and you're listening to me. Okay,
Yes, please
so
explain.
yes, I wasn't asking whether like they are going to be marked differently from everybody else. I'm asking if
Okay.
there's like, I'm asking if there's like, are you going to consider the fact that they were attending before or not, or something like that? I don't know if it makes sense.
Oh, okay. So you mean like you've been on the database for long? Will you be considered if you haven't been making it all this time? I don't know how. I don't know how sourcing does they think. Do you, Nicola, Zube, do you guys know if they consider people who've been at it for like 3, 4 times?
I don't know.
Um,
What-
so the way that it works, right? It all depends on how you do in the boot camp. So it doesn't matter if you've done 3, 4, 5 boot camps before, right? The coursework is going to be the same for everybody, right? So it all depends on how you um, go about the boot camp, right? So right now we are still having boot camps at our TVET campuses, right? So depending on how that goes, certain people will be chosen over others, right? So it depends also on where you're from, which campus you want to be at, all those different things, right? And then it also looks at how you participated with others at the boot camp as well. So if you are maybe just a person that keeps to himself, right? We won't really consider you because you're not putting yourself out there to learn with others, right? So you need to interact with other people, make sure that, okay, this guy next to me, he knows my name, he knows where I'm from, he knows that I helped him because, say, for instance, he gets an interview, right? And this guy, they ask him, who do you remember from your boot camp? He will be able to say, oh, no, I know this guy, he helped me out a lot, right? And that should also give you a step up to get into Within Code.
Cool. Thank you so much. Tanya, we only we offer software dev, right? Only. Um, so yeah, we only do software development. So it's mainly based on coding and being a software engineer. You will have the different electives at the end of your towards the end of your 16 months, so that's where then you'll branch out into blockchain and all of those other things, but that is just your specialization in the software dev training. Cool. 1 more minute. I'm just gonna take maybe like 2 more questions. If I skipped your question, please just write it down here or raise your hand, because scrolling up I can't keep track of what was said or what was not said. Okay. Um, what are the different electives? I've heard there's data engineering, there's data science, there's blockchain, there is systems engineering, there is QA, there is mobile dev. Am I missing something? Cloud, there's cloud. Those are the ones I can think of from the top of my head. Um, I took the test in November 2024, but unfortunately I didn't pass. They informed me that I'd be placed on the waiting list and then would review the application intake. I am unfortunate. If I'm fortunate, they might call me later. If you took a test in November 2024,
That's TVET.
That's TVET. That's the applications that are happening actually right now. So I really do not think that you'll be able to apply this year. Is it right? Yes, Nicola.
I think Zubair is writing the answers. Get hold of info@wethinkcode.co.za to ask those questions because that's TVET. That's not We Think Code. We Think Code are partners with TVET, but the boot camps are a different department altogether. And then I would just like to point out, someone did ask, like, what are the different modules? Gugu, can you quickly go to the next slide so I can explain something? Okay, so you see the fundamentals for 101, that is Python. So programming, you're gonna learn how to do code. Engineering, you're gonna learn how to make things. And then communications and teamwork. You're gonna go to your neighbor and be like, hey, I don't know what to do. And teamwork, you're gonna work in a group, like school groups again, yay. Then 101, object orientation, that is Java. So we do all the projects from fundamentals and we move into Java. Here is just learning fundamental of Java. And then the second year, brownfields, is you get someone's code and you gotta put your own code in it without destroying it. Then distributed systems, that is web dev. That is HTML, Java, making apps look pretty. And then electives. So it's QA, app development, mobile development, integration, data engineering. What was that other one? Cloud, blockchain, all the ones that Google's been saying.
Mobile.
Systems integration is like also very much like brownfields where you get code and you have to make it look pretty and it work well. And then the 4-month internship, that is quite something where they train you. You thought you knew, but there's more.
And then is stipend still offered? Yes. For Python, just cover what's this? What's this? Loops, the basics, data types, loops, functions. Help me. uh, it's so weird. I can't think of these things at the top of my head anymore. Nicola, do you want to say something?
Conditionals,
Yes.
fundamentals.
Yes.
Oh,
If statements, yeah.
functions, my faves.
Yes. Is an elective on AI? No, not yet. We're just doing things on AWS, I think. Nothing on AI yet. Yeah. And then if I applied last June, yes, you are eligible to apply again this year. We have our email address. It is IBM dash skills both. Let me get this.
I'll share it. I'll
This.
share it in chat.
Yes, please. So if you have any other questions, you can either email us on the email address that will be sent in the chat or info@wethinkcode or DM us on social media. We do look at our DMs as we can then answer you there, right? And then that will conclude our thing. Please do your pre-application, which is very important. I urge you to do your pre-application on IBM Skills Build. It will help you a lot, a lot, a lot. Right? Thank you so much for everyone joining. If team, you have any more things to add, please do so.
Thank you so much for joining, all of you. Good luck. And just do the pre-application over and over again. We really want to see you this year. At the end of this year, join our
Yes.
cohort.
And if you know anyone who will require more information or would like to share this, we do have more of these sessions that will be happening. We'll be highlighting this again. So please share to your friends, family members to join the session so that they can get extra information as to how the Within Code process works. But from us to you guys, good luck on your application process. Hopefully, you will see you this year in September. And thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, good luck. You have all the tools to get started now. Yay. That's it from us. Peace out. Bye, guys.
Bye.